Dateline Sunday, the creek and all the ingredients for a classic afternoon's golf. Paul Lawrie 9 behind, but due a low round. Menacing Darren Clark, his score improving every day. And Lee Westwood won last year, coming from 5 and 7 behind. So the pressure on Jose Caceres, but so far he's had the answer to every question. Welcome to day 4 of the Dubai Desert Classic. An afternoon of immense possibilities. Jose Caceres has been at the top of the leaderboard right from day 1. Calm conditions and a course record equaling 64 to share the lead with Lee Westwood. But Friday was a much tougher day. On average 4 shots worse, but Caceres still had the putter going. A round of 69 to lead on his own. And yesterday the little man in red again on world-class form. Started the day with a 4-shot lead. He would end it ahead by 5. Not a weakness in his game. Last night he would have eaten well. How he slept, only he will know. But there will still be moments that will test Jose. He simply needs more of the same. But it's not all about Jose and the big names looking to get their names on the trophy. When Jamie Spence won his only European Tour title, that was back in 1992, and he came from 10 behind. So a 5-shot deficit? Nothing at all, really. And Russell Clayton's losing weight, finding form. The third round, 64. And he's capable of putting his way to the title. And of course, record 63 for Jarmo Sandelin, from tied 58th into the top 10. And who knows, a win this afternoon might clinch a ticket for Augusta. A look at the leaderboard confirms that if Caceres should falter, then this is anyone's tournament. Patrick Sholin there, Paul McGinley. Paul Affleck from Wales would be looking for his first win. And maybe Darren, maybe even Thomas Bjorn. Sandelin, well, he's got it all to do. And some of the big names out there, Leonard, Olazabal, Montgomery, viewing from afar. Would it be the Argentinian's afternoon? And of course a 5-shot lead sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But I've been talking to pros the likes of Richard Boxall, Ewan Murray, all with horror stories of having a 5-shot advantage and then really struggling. Ewan's story was lovely in Africa. He led by 5, he chipped in at the first, chipped in at the second to lead by 7, and eventually won by 1. So it's really all about the 15th club. That's the 6 inches between the 2 ears for Jose Caceres. If he can keep calm, keep his nerve, then he's a great chance. It is breezy. That, I think, is to Jose's advantage. Probably takes the 63, 64 from the chasing pack out of the equation. If he can shoot 1 or 2 under par or even level par, he should be there. 4 holes gone, 4 straight pars for Jose. He leads by 4. Jamie Spence for the second day playing with Jose. They're playing in twos once again. He's picked up a birdie at the second, got to 11 under. A move from Patrick Sholin, who had a 66 yesterday. 3 birdies in the first 6 holes. And let's get out onto the course, and maybe the first problem for Jose Caceres. This is the 5th hole, the par 5. That's his 4th shot. Very delicate one. Just wanted to drop that down, and Nice headwear from the caddy. He's got the local headwear on, but steady start from Jose. And it's maybe if he's got a problem, what's the game plan? Do I play conservative golf, or do I go for my shots as I did in the first 3 rounds? Lee Westwood just coming off his first birdie of the day after 4 pars. Second into the 6. And Lee can't sit back. He knows he has to chase. He won that 5 shots behind to Gary Orr in the Dutch Open the week before. He'd won at the K Club, the Smurfit European Open. When going into the final round, he trailed Darren Clark by 7. Now Jamie Spence playing his 4th birdie putt. We'd be happy to get down into and may pick up one. Just that 1 birdie at the second so far. Tidy 5. Paul Lawrie is through 8. He's picked up 3 shots today, and 9 under has a chance to challenge. It's been a harder scoring day. Mark Davis making his first cut of the season out in the second match is 71. There was a 68 for Peter Lonard, a 69 for Sheila Hahn. 71 on his birthday for Matt Slanner. Happy birthday, Matt. It was Roger Vessel's birthday yesterday. Missed the cut, but enjoyed a good meal just up the road yesterday. See that the 5th is the easiest hole on the course, and you'd be very disappointed if you dropped a shot. And just getting an update from the course. Caceres got across the water in 2. So that was his 3rd shot. It wasn't one that he will long remember, but he has got this for birdie, so not quite as bad as it seemed. Just coming through the fringe, so able to leave the flag in, and that should secure straight par number 5. His caddy there, Eduardo. They speak Spanish and a lot of it on the course, but in the hotel room they speak English. Eduardo is teaching Jose, improving his English. Now problems for Patrick Sholin on the 7th. Oh dear. Well, that hit the rock and bounced all that way back, so he was probably just a yard or 2 away from being very good. And now he's got problems, going to drop at least a shot out of the 7th. There was one little subplot that you might like to know about. 1 or 2 expats here, Welshmen. A lot of Welsh on the tour. And Bradley Dredge was playing with Philip Price today. And Bradley was saying that he plays a lot in practice with Phil, and he wins some, loses some, but it's fairly even. But he's never ever betted him in a tournament, and that's always been his focus, his target. He's not looked at the leaderboard. He said, well, if I can finish ahead of Pricey for the first time, then I've not done too badly. And would you believe it, they were drawn together today a little earlier, and Price bogeyed the last for a 71, a par for Bradley at 70, and for the first time he's beaten his friend and fellow countryman. So that might make up for the rugby. For Bradley, perhaps not for Phil. Sarah's still by 4, then both players, he and Spence, tapping in for their pars at the 5th. Still waiting for Sholins to complete the 7th. Lee Westwood into the picture as well. Russell Claydon going along sort of steadily, really. He's just churning out 5 pars in a row. Alistair Forsyth. Interesting point that Lee Westwood was making about Alistair. He said he looks a very good player. They played together yesterday. He said if he continues to play like this, of course he's going to be drawn with good players at the weekend, and that is going to help his learning process. And today he's playing with Darren Clark, so that's not a bad way to spend your weekend, playing with Chubby Chandler's top 2, and the world number 7, world number 14. Ross McFarlane, who's been in this commentary box a couple of days, and we've appreciated his contribution. Going well again today. Fingers crossed that he finishes a little better than he has the last 2 rounds, but he's 7 under through 12 today, 4 under for his round, playing with Justin Leonard. Now to the 6. See, this is just a layup shot, really. No point taking the driver, no advantage. You only drive into the water, so it's probably a 2-iron for Jamie. Hit 43 out of 54 greens in regulation in the first round. Feature of Jose's play yesterday was he didn't miss a fairway. 14 out of 14 he hit. Creek in the background and one or two serious boats. Tea time's a little later today. If you were with us yesterday, you know we finished 25 minutes early or so, and that was because tournament director Mike Stewart, taking into account the probability of winds similar to Friday. You saw how that slow play up took that into the equation. Of course, it didn't blow, and they finished a little early, but better safe than sorry. And today blowing a little, but about half the rate it was on Friday. Now Sholand. This is his fourth shot at the par 4. He's able to go back on the line as far as he wanted. Can Lee Westwood make it 2 birdies in a row and begin his challenge? It's a bit of grain in these greens, and that one pulling up fairly quickly, but the players should know them by now. Well, this was the man who lifted the trophy last year, David Howe, and what a good performance it was, and strangely hasn't really gone on from there, holding out for a round of 76. Played with Jim Payne, who has a 4 tournament medical exemption, and this was tournament number 4. He needed top 6. It's also a 76 for Jim, so he will hope for a couple of invites and improve like that. And I think you can see fairly quickly where the problem was with David Howe. It was the putter, which may not survive the trip to Qatar. It's a pretty good 5. Lee Westwood, by the way, holding a nasty little 3-4 footer, but he got it for par at 5. Now, though Sholand drops a shot, the damage is not too serious. It's unlikely that if you're contending, you're going to get through the round without dropping a shot here and there. Just limiting the damage, taking advantage of your chances when they come. And then we have the closing holes, and that's really where the tournament will be won or lost. Gary Evans around a 77, but over the 4 days he's played the last 3 holes in 8 over par, and already we're seeing 6s and 7s at the closing hole if you get it wrong. So it ain't over till it's over. You can see if you drive it too far, you run into that rough and possibly into the water, and Jamie Spencer's left no chance. He's a long way back. Pin today on 15 paces, 10 from the right. Or at least that's what it says here. It doesn't look that way, does it? An optical illusion, but because the pin's fairly forward, it's the angle of the green that fools you a little bit. Didn't fool Jamie Spencer, did it? That's a glorious shot. Round of 69, good effort from Ian Garbett. Roger Chapman a 71 despite a 7 at 17, and he was going so well. So it's another cut made. There will be a few positives to take away. Now can Caceres match the shot of Jamie Spence? A little bit of indecision. Well, has he gone up or down? Might have gone up a club. if he'd gone up to an 8 iron and it'd been a 7 iron say before, then it might have been the wrong decision. Best golf at the moment on the course is coming from the German Thomas Gergler, who's had an indifferent start to the season, but today he's at 5 under for his round, and that's a bit of a before. Actually, as I speak, no, there he is. He's just, as I spoke, he dropped a shot, which is why it disappeared off my leaderboard. He just dropped the shot, sadly at 15. I think confirming what a tough finish it is. Paul Affleck, by the way, is at 9 under. He dropped a shot at the third after birdie in second, but picked up a birdie at 5. So he's going along steady. Anyway, in top 5 will do for Paul Affleck. The higher the better, but what a chance for the biggest check of his career. Safely across the water and in good position for Westwood. Alongside the busy road there. If I had to ban one thing in Dubai, it would be car horns. Right on line. First look at Paul Lawrie. This is his third to the 9th. Nicely played. The par 5 described perfectly by Ross McFarlane yesterday, almost as 3 par 3s from island to a green. I don't think that's got a horn. That's the way it should be, but there's a lot of youngsters being brought in by their parents to watch the golf, and most of them have got a hat on. The sun's fairly strong, even though it feels a bit chilly out there in the wind. This is the 6th and the leading 2. Jose, one of the 11 children. He was talking about that after his round yesterday, how they used to live in a 2-bedroomed house, mum and dad, and the 9 kids or the 11 kids in the other bedroom. He now has 2 houses, lives in one himself. His brothers live in the other. 3 of them are golf pros, and the youngest one, Roberto, a player of immense promise who plays on the South American tour. And though he keeps it quiet, Jose, when he's back home, delivers some food and shoes and books and to the poor children around the area. So he doesn't like to shout about that, but answer questions as he was asked. So he's a pretty good guy. And he's a very good putter. That was a little unlucky. Nasty one back. But all week long his putting stroke has been pure. Stephen Gallagher of Scotland, Bernard's nephew, and I would say Kirsty's cousin, has birdied 3 holes out of 4, just picked up a 4 at the 10th, and has got himself to 8 under. Chance for Jamie Spence to make birdie at the 6th. I've got my pin placings wrong. It's 6 from the left, 18 on. That makes sense, doesn't it, now you look at it? Oh. He's going to putt out. When he won the Canon European Masters 92, it was a 10-shot make-up in round 4 to catch. I think it was Anders Sports Brand, and beat him in a playoff. Rather surprised that Jamie hasn't won again since then. He's 7 times been a runner-up. pros like to stay down and watch the line of the ball as it goes past the hole, but when you lip out, that rather distorts it, takes an advantage away. So that's why Jose is working extra hard on this one to make it 6 pars in a row. And he's looked very good indeed from that distance in particular. See him put the brakes on, they're just telling the score and not getting carried away. Don't rush, just take it at your own pace. Now, a little earlier, the final action for Marco Mira. Back at the Dubai Desert Classic for the 2nd year running. I'm sure he'll be welcome again. And that a sad 6 and around a 73 for Mark, and a ragged finish, dropping 4 shots on the last 6 holes. As I say, he was playing with Roger Chapman. They both had their troubles over the closing stages. Well, the rough has not been cut. It's become a little more bird friendly day by day. Not as long as last year, mind you. And that's been reflected in the scoring. Well, here comes Lee Westwood. Ominous. Threatening 2 birdies and 3 holes, 11 under, sharing 2nd. Paul Lawrie for an outward half of 32, 4 under, 36 both halves, par 72. And still Paul persevering with the same putter. In a way, that's an encouraging sign, because his mindset is likely to be, well, it's not the putter, it's me. If I can just make one little change, alignment, ball position, whatever stance, and start rolling in a putt or two, get a bit of confidence. And that's really what he's done out in 33, 9 under, 6 adrift at the moment. Water so much a part of a feature of this creek course, and quite a long carry over the water, but then the water comes in play again, so you don't really want to pull out the driver unless the wind's hard against, which it isn't. It's off the right, hurting a little, and then you shouldn't really bring that water in the right into play, but quite easy to get into the bunker if you come up just a little bit short. Very stylish swinger is Jamie Spence. Just holds the position, that's fine. Not sure it's quite as steeply uphill as it. Oh dear. Why has Dad brought me here? Mind you, one or two of our crew at the Irish Village last night, around about 3 o'clock this morning, might have been crawling home in similar fashion. And side by side, Jose Caceres looks very calm. I'm sure he must be a little tense inside, but he's getting the job done so far. And this is what David Howe did last year, if you remember. Was very solid, hit all the fairways on the front nine, hit all the greens. He was just playing very nicely, and we just got a little bit of a pressure when Lee Westwood ahead started making a few birdies. Can Westwood do it again? Can he go one better than tied 2nd last year? It won't be for the lack of trying. Wind, if anything, might be helping a little off the right. That's what he's just trying to work out, looking at the trees. Not really any clouds in the sky to help him. about field and no more than the wedge. Plenty of spin and needed to sit down because it's not an easy pin, just over the water with the wind helping. Really, you want to be behind the pin, and then that leaves you a faster putt back, so swings and roundabouts. But Sarah's not really threatened at the moment. He doesn't have to take risks. And that will do. They give the headgear and the traditional local dress away at the Saturday night party. I think our invitation was lost in the post, but never mind. Sarah Clark looking on at Alistair Forsyth. Clark to the turn in 37, 2 bogeys, just the 1 birdie. Forsyth made it in 33, so again he's going well. A 4 at the 9th where he took 8 yesterday. Learned that lesson well. If you get out of position from the drive, the 9th can be a fearsome hole. And requires 3 excellent shots then to get home. What a start he's made though. This is 6th tournament. He's made all 6 cuts, a 3rd place in the Heineken, and again he's got about 54,000 pounds under the belt already. 70 to keep your card, and you can do that tonight. That would be a nice feeling, a real boost to go forward for the rest of the season. Been a slow start to the year for Colin Montgomery. This is his European Tour debut. He played in the match play last week in La Costa and lost to Thomas Bjorn at the 5th extra hole. I think it was in round 2. Par for a round of 73. Had to work hard to make the cut. He hasn't missed the cut since the BMW in 1998, and that's probably his lowest position since then. Probably going to finish around 40 to 50th. Smallest check for a while. But still, early season. We see Colin on the European Tour. Probably won't be back until the Benson Hedges at the De Vere Belfry that's in May. Although he will be skippering the Great Britain and Ireland side against Seve's European team in the Seve Ballesteros Trophy at Sunningdale the week after the Masters. Steady putt once again from Jamie Spence. Nice touch actually. Jose Caceres just waving it on. Nice that he can still encourage his fellow competitor playing partner, Stephen Gallagher. Birdie at 11, and that's now 3 in a row, 4 in 5 holes. On the little charge, he left it very late to keep his card last year. I think he finally did it at the Belgicon, which was just about last chance salute. And again, like Paul Affleck and 1 or 2 others, the chance of a big check in the richest ever Dubai Desert Classic. All the motivation you need. Yelmer's Sandlin, by the way, 63 yesterday, 35 to the turn today, 7 under, sharing 12. Thomas Bjorn, a disappointing weekend really for the touring pro from the creek. He's through 11 holes, playing with Stephen Gallagher, +2 today, only 4 under, back in a share of 25th. I like the way Jose's putting. They're not dropping in the way that they did for the 3 days, but he's giving everyone a chance. Still leader by 4. Chance then for Lee Westwood to close the gap to 3, and that's what he wanted, to get within 3 or 2. He really will turn the pressure. Good positive strike as well, and yet into the grain, just pulls up. Say 3 though. Well, the 8th, this is where Stuart Cage made a hole-in-one a year ago. All across the water. And the pin today. 23 paces on, 8 from the right, so plenty of green to aim at. You can see the ridge, the spine that runs through, and it's the top half, back half the green there. You can see about 4 or 5 yards past that spine, so you want to hit a full shot into this one, which is what Westwood did. Might be 4 or 5 iron today.
And I missed it, didn't I?
Negative thoughts. I think we called Janet, Jamie Spencer's caddy, and they're just discussing what happened yesterday, what club he took. She probably said you took a 5 iron, and he's gone, and I missed it. You banish those thoughts, Jamie. Just see only the pin. Hit it win, so that's away to the right. Wind was trying a little bit of shelter from the trees, not bad, but it's got to go up that spine and across. Well, his stroke average, as you would expect, 3 rounds 67. That is leading by some distance. Green's in regulation 5th place. He's been hitting more than 3 in every 4. That's an excellent stat. And putts, pretty good considering he's hit that many greens to then be in the top 10 of the putting. And that's the reason why accuracy plus good putting is why he leads now by 4 and led by 5 after round 3. Just a 3/4, 7/8 backswing. Wonderful hands, he whips those hands in. So Henry Cotton would have enjoyed that swing. Just got across. Flirted with it, now he's left himself a very long putt. He was a club out there. It's still smile, but it's almost a grimace. 5-4 from Westwood and from Spence. Forsyth coming through, making his birdie at 10. Stephen Gallagher making a move as well. Paul Lawrie continuing the Scottish challenge for this title. Paul McKinley at 9 under. He's to the turn in 34. Just managed a birdie at the 9th. Van Phillips going along reasonably well, out in 34, 2 under par. Ross McFarland churning out the path. Now he comes to that. I've got my fingers crossed for Ross because he's had trouble from 15 in the last 2 days, notably at the on the second day when he took 7 at 18, and he was just on the verge of the cut. Then a 68 yesterday was a good round, so keep a lookout for him. Jorge Berent from Argentina just dropped a shot at 16. He's 3 under for his round. He won't be going anywhere. I should think he and Eduardo Romero will hang around and hopefully join in the celebrations if Jose Caceres, their fellow countryman, makes it. David Parks had a pretty good start to the season. His was one of the stories of 99, coming off the Challenge Tour to lose a playoff to Miguel Martin, the man below him, and then the following week at Slaley Hall to win, and he was full-time onto the tour. Made a good start to this year, but he just dropped a shot 11. He's 6 under. And he's vacated the 11th green. Here's Alistair Forsyth about to play. Club short and into the bunker. Mentioned Miguel Angel Martin, who will be defending the Moroccan Open. I understand not at Agadir on the King's Course. Information is that was being moved to Marrakesh. But a 68 today for Miguel. He's in the clubhouse at 5 under. Paul Lawrie third to 10. So yeah, that's coming around and coming back. It's got quite a quick putt left, and if there wasn't any wind, that would have been very close. Lee Westwood, mixed fortunes. Day one, he had the driver out and got home and made the birdie. Day two, played it a little differently and carded a 7, but it looks like he's got the driver out again. He's going for broke. If you drive over the angle of the dog leg, you can put yourself in with a chance, and Lee Westwood knows it's time to make his bid. He's got the best part of 250 yards. Lost one lot of water. Well, that's okay. Safely across the water. Huge shot. It was the right shot. It was pin high had it been straightened just into the sand. And the gamble would have paid off if he can get up and down. He probably feels it wasn't a gamble. Routine shot, and you couldn't argue with him. Meanwhile, back at the 8th, and a long putt for Jose, the best part of a cricket pitch. Peter Mitchell's just finished his Dubai Desert Classic 2000 with a round of 69. And he'll be making the trip maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, up to Doha for next week's Qatar Masters. As if you're watching in Dubai, there's a challenge match at the Emirates tomorrow, and that's the Callan Challenge. I'm not sure if that's open to the public or not, but might be worth checking. Myself and members of the press are on our way down this evening to Abu Dhabi to play the new course down there tomorrow. Looking forward to that. 10th hole, and Paul Lawrie not making that birdie putt. More problems with the putter. He remains at 9 under. Over the ridge it comes, picking up a little bit of pace now. The line was just about spot on, but a little short, and again he's got one of those 4 or 5 footers, and you don't want to be leaving yourself too many of those in this situation. Nice shot from Stephen Gallagher, who'll be mostly looking forward to Qatar. He played pretty well there. It was the 4th round he fell away, but will have learned a lot, and as he goes back a year on, we'll know he's a much better player, much more experienced. Ross McFarlane, the birdie at 15, he's got himself to 8 under. Fair to say 16 is not his favourite hole, but we shall see. Now this is Forsyth. Remember, we saw his second shot at the 11th into the trap, short of the green. Splashed out to here. This is for par. His first drop shot of the day, back to 9 under. Safely home for Jose Caceres, who really is making light work of those. 8 pars in a row. One of our game's cliches that they say the tournament doesn't start till back 9 on Sunday. Well, might be the case. Much will depend if Lee Westwood can get up and down at the 9th and close the gap to 3. just a lucky horseshoe. Smiling now. And so they walk away to the ninth. Doubtful that either man can get up in two. So there's an edge for Lee Westwood with his extra power. Can he make it count? It's a little far back in the bunker, that doesn't help. Applause from the crowd, but wouldn't think Lee would be too happy with that. It wasn't easy being that far back in the bunker, and also the trajectory of the green just short. He was coming across the spine. Back on the tee, you can see Jamie Spence yesterday slapped it away to the left and had to single putt for a very good 5 in the end. The bunker you can see on the left, just over there is the line for the big hitters. We go to 12 though. Stephen Gallagher. Well done. Uncle Bernard would be very proud of him. Bernhard is the captain of Wentworth Club in the Millennium year. And Stephen getting himself to, I think that's to 10 under. If you're watching around the world, there's a lot of traffic about. Sunday is a working day in the Middle East. Confirmation Gallagher, 4 birdies in a row, 10 under. Now banish all memories of yesterday's drive, Jamie. Up the middle, soft fade maybe. Much better. Much better. And he's around about 60, 70 yards closer. And he's probably going to lay up shortly. That's sort of second water. The first bit of water comes into play if you're out of position, as Jamie was yesterday, and had to just lay up short of that water, which left him over 200 yards to the green, and he had to lay up again. Deceptively long is Jose Caceres, small, and about 5'9", 5'10", wiry character. He was going out last night for a big Argentinian steak. Joining Eduardo Romero, who's a connoisseur of the Argentinian steak. Still looks pretty happy and relaxed. Oh, what a pity. Rather a waste of an excellent second shot, or an excellent chance for the second shot. Just taking on this par 5, and you've still got a bit to do to walk off with a par. Mixed fortunes on this 9th hole. He birdied it day 1, a 7 day 2, a 6 yesterday. And there's the first par of the week. Out in 34. Just a short walk to the 10th tee, back-to-back par 5s. And Jose Caceres has played flawless golf so far. Hasn't made the birdie or two that he might have wanted to, but he hasn't, by the same conjunction, has not made a mistake. That's maybe the main thing. It means that although Lee Westwood has got to within 4, and likewise Jamie Spence, that's still a commanding lead to take it to the back 9. No need to play the brave boy. Into position she goes. Further back than Jamie Spence's ball, but he will have picked the club to leave himself the distance of these comfortable hitting. A birdie burst from Jose Rivera with birdies at 13 and 14 to get to 7 under. Slip back, his chances ended yesterday. Taking on bananas. You see so many players do that now. A bit of potassium, a bit of energy. And back around the trophy, the Arabian coffee pot. Some famous names on that trophy: Colin Montgomery, Jose Maria Olazabal. After a while on your own, it gets a bit like that. The 10th. Now, there is a danger of the wind behind or helping. You can run through the fairway. You don't want to do that. Up near the end, you've got a chance of getting home in 2, but if you want to lay up, this is about where you do it to. And the flag today, 20 on, 12 from the right-hand side, so a reasonable pin. Maybe that bunker on the right comes into play. Been a real success story since he burst onto the tour, Lee Westwood. He's been in the upper echelons for the last 4 years, second in the Volvo Order of Merit last year to Colin Montgomery. Of course, won all around the world, won in America. Now, with that win in South Africa in Dimension Data, he's won on all 5 continents. Just one win for Jose because he might be on the bananas as well. They're all eating out there. That was back in '94 Catalunya, which he doesn't really remember that much about. I think he just pipped Sam Torrance.
Ayer teníamos 113.
Dimos con el 9.
Sí, y pico 100.
Hoy tenemos 100.
115, tiene que picar 115.
El 9, ¿eh?
Gusta el 9, sí.
Muy bien. ¿Cuánto tenemos atrás?
Atrás y 6.
Nada.
Vamos, concéntrate bien, ¿eh?
Televisión, ¿eh?
La televisión, sí.
¿Te gusta, eh?
Sí. Vamos, concentración.
Ardo Romero just finished with a round of 73. Another like Jorge Berent. I'm sure we'll be hanging around to cheer Jose on, to give him a little bit of backing. He may need it on the back nine. It could be very lonely. Bit like the box.
Bien, así vos.
Well, that's a stunning shot, and he may well be about to open his account and make it harder for everybody else. And the banana working its magic. He just lays the club off a little bit. I was going to say at the top, it's not. It's only about a 3/4 swing, punching that one in. Bit of cut spin, so it's going to sit down quickly. Looks very composed. Jamie Spence, that's said they're not in the drop zone, but they're laid up to here, so playing 3. Incidentally of 75 for Miguel Angel Jimenez, which included a 9 at the 5th hole. But here's the man who's playing the hottest golf at the moment, Stephen Gallagher, playing into the 13th. He's already made 5 birdies in a row and every chance of 6. That's a river police going out to investigate his handicap. It's 4 birdies in a row, beg your pardon, but it could be 5 in a row, and it would be 6 in 8 holes. Just the one birdie so far for Jamie Spencer. He knows he's got to make it. He's got to get it on a run, really. If you go 4-4 next 2 holes, then he's got a chance. Another noisy part of the course with the clubhouse just behind up the hill. Spectators walking past. Of course, if he doesn't make this one and Jose makes his,
Open discotheque? No.
don't think they were the one. The accusing eye. Security cameras, all. I don't think it was them. We'll just come a little closer. Go on, go on. Well done. Gets down in 34, gets to 12 under, gets within 3 for a moment perhaps. And Russell Claydon didn't see it, but 2 at 8, 4 at 9, and 35. He too is at 10 under. So they're all grouping should Jose Caceres falter. Down the hill, you can see the roll trying to get away, but then the borrow straightening up the Makers logo. And in she starts to go, and always turning into the hole. Lovely putt. Well, they had been and will have had days when they've just lipped out and not gone in. That one going his way, and makes this putt for Jose a little longer. Almost invincible on that putt, but that probably down to the pressure exerted by Jamie Spence. Will be 9 straight past 36. Nothing wrong in that, but the pack have crept closer. And the engraver would not get busy yet. Sebi Ballesteros, his name's on the trophy. Eamon Darcy, Mark James, Jose Maria Orothabal from a couple of years ago. Colin Montgomery, who opened a season with a dramatic win at the Emirates. This is the second year that we played at the Creek. David Howe winning last year. Now this tee completely sheltered by the hospitality units. A lot of room on the left. It's a fairly generous drive, really. Make the fairway and you've got a chance of getting on in 2. Here is Lee Westwood being fairly conservative. Suspect it might even have been a 3-wood off the tee, taking that water out of play, and probably the 3-wood again. Can he get home in 2? Missed a chance really, didn't he, at the last hole, but we'll be aware there's plenty of leaderboards around. We'll be aware that it might even be the driver again. As he turned that over, started up the left-hand side and stayed up the left-hand side. Well, he's busting a gut. He knows that he's got to make the birdies. An eagle or 2 or 1 would help. So that's the one you get to take home. Having a little look, and don't get too attached to it just yet. Now, we told you Patrick Sholand early on has started very well. He hasn't really maintained that momentum, but that for birdie at the 10th, that will help. It gets him back to 10 under. He reached the turn in 34. 3 birdies, 1 drop shot at 7, as you saw. And Sholand's challenge is still just about alive. 13th. Stephen Gallagher on in 3 this for birdie this to make it 5 in a row and share 3rd place. Beautifully done. And all started with a drop shot at the 3rd. Since then he's had 7 birdies, 6 under for his round. Chasing on, and well, even if he'd been in the first cut of semi-rough, wouldn't really have mattered. As they say, into the back 9 Sunday, can Jose Caceres handle the pressure? Well, that one pushed away to the right means that he won't be able to get on in 2. Just saw strolling into picture, there was Richard Boxall working for TalkSport Radio back in the UK. He's got a, would have thought he was well out of range, but he was very close to that ball. He'll be reporting on the line. 200,000 dirham for a hole in 1. Stephen Gallagher looking for 6 birdies in a row. Well, probably the longest putt that he will need to hold to do it, but the good news, not screwing back into the water. Keen followers of the Royal and Ancient game. Now Lee Westwood is waiting for a ruling lefty pitch. You can see the cart path, and if that interferes with his stance, and he should be able to get a drop. And it depends if the lies was really good, he wouldn't be asking. He said, well, I play it. It doesn't really affect it that much, but he probably will want to drop if the lie's not that special. Russell Clayton's on the players committee, so he will know what to do. In fact, Lee might say, well, I'm going to have a ruling on this. If you want to carry on and play yourself, go ahead. Used to call him China on tour in the early days. He was known as Young Lee. Meanwhile, the 11th, Patrick Sherlin just weighing up the wind for his second shot, stepping down. Is he stepping down into sand? Yes, I answer myself. It's one of those tricky ones, quite close up to the face of the bunker, and you see, he'd rather be in the middle and flat stance, and he might be able to get up in 2, but balance all important. It may preclude going for the green. Caddy this year because wife Ulrika expecting their firstborn in May. Down here this week though, enjoying the sun, maybe shopping. I've seen a Marks and Sparks, I've seen a Debenhams, a Woolworths. I haven't seen a Mothercare, but I'm sure there is one. Scuttle that one forward. Could have been worse. It's quite a popular destination for Scandinavians as well. They've learned the secret of Dubai as a holiday venue. Lee Westwood has learned that you can get a drop away from the car park, and certainly got himself a slightly straighter shot now and hopefully a better lie. Keep running, keep. It is the one area of this game where just the slightest improvement would move him up to the very, very top of the game and maybe bring a first major. Gave it a chance. Probably seeing the hole like a bucket even from that range. Awkward little one back. Jorge Berent has finished with a round of 69. He's in the clubhouse at 6 under, leading in the clubhouse at the moment. Ross McFarlane pars at 16 and 17, just the 18th to come, but 5 under for today's round, and on the verge of maybe a first top 10 finish for a while. Paul Affleck was up with the lead at 9, and he's still going along pretty well, but churning out the pars at the moment. In the share of 7th place were Paul McGinley, Paul Laurie and Alistair Forsyth. Now behind, Caceres and Spence have laid up, no heroics. Westwood maybe should have made a birdie at the last one. You feel it's going to be very difficult if he doesn't make this putt. He was up very quickly and probably finished a little closer than he thought. So 2 5s at the par 5s for Lee Westwood. Still 4 behind, 11 under. So it's going to be difficult, but you certainly wouldn't write off his chances with such a tough finishing stretch. But he really had the opportunity to get maybe within 2 or 3. Good news for Stephen Gallagher of 14. Bad news for Stephen Gallagher. Didn't make that 6-7 footer back after an aggressive first putt from just off the green at 14. So first drop shot since the third. Slips back to 10 under and the birdie run has ended. Not yet safe par. Times yesterday those lakes were mill pond smooth. Times on Friday, White Horse time. Good crowds. Jose Caceres has endeared himself to the crowd the way he's smiled his way around the creek over the previous 3 days, and indeed today so far. See that Caceres wasn't in a particularly good shape off his tee shot, and still over to the right course and off the fairway, but probably the first cut of semi-rough. Wind behind. Doing a disservice, actually on the fairway but right hand side. Just waiting for Russell Clay to clear the green, which has happened now. Russell walking off with a par 5.
Fuerte y dale un poquito por la derecha.
Sí, porque el pitch no la paro.
Bueno, dale con ese, dale fuerte a la sombra. ¿Ves la sombra? Dale ahí. Soltalo. Vamos.
just looking for reassurance really from Janet. Wind behind, just off the right. Probably a wedge, and again very, very good. Jamie Spence is suddenly starting to threaten. He's getting close to the pin. Caceres is hitting greens, but not really setting up that many birdie chances, and may rue the one that he missed at the 9th. Wind against off the left, sweeping dogleg left to right, par 4. Waste area away on the right. There's a new bunker on the left. Relatively new, it was here for the first time for the tournament last year, but he's in good shape there again. And there's that bunker. Interesting place to be sitting on a boat when there's so much room elsewhere. But he slips back to 9 under. Finished last year very well after a slightly disappointing season with an excellent win in Hong Kong. And if you're going to miss a fairway, generally better, a little easier if you miss on the right hand side rather than the left, where the rough is almost combed towards you and the ball tends to sit down. That's what's happened to Stephen Gallagher. Well, each round he's made a couple of these. Each round he's been a little more aggressive than that, and having said a couple of holes ago that he was attacking the putts, that one a bit more defensive, but it was uphill and you didn't want to leave yourself a 4 or 5 footer back down the hill. It's got a 3 footer remaining, but it's up the slope. It's not dissimilar really to Jamie Spence's. Spence's is for 2 birdies in a row and to cut Caceres' lead to 2, and who knows, that really would put the pressure on the Argentinian. So this is a huge putt for Jamie. And there's his greens in regulations. That's the 5th best in the tournament over the course of the first 3 rounds. And averaging 29 putts. Not bad. Not bad at all. He's looking for a round of maybe 27, 26 putts today. Got it. Gets to 13 under, and is that going to be unlucky for Jose Caceres? Certainly Spence, one of the quiet men on the course. Nice smile, and that's all you get from him. You don't get too many hysterics. He's trying to keep calm. Janet's enjoying it. She's not thinking of the bonus just yet. £141,000, 10%. It's a must make. Really hasn't looked like missing those, just as well. But he now leads by 2, and that's the closest anyone's been for a long time. There'll be many mosques in Dubai, be calling to prayer in the not too distant future. Caceres then the only 2 ahead of Jamie Spence, 4 clear of Lee Westwood. Stephen Gallagher in trouble at 15. The others maybe just jostling for the top 10 finish. That would be a good result for Paul Affleck, would be a very good result for Ross McFarlane. 1 hole to go. Elsewhere, Paul Laurie's chain charge not really materialising. He's just dropped a shot at the 12th. And Thomas Gergel had it going at the front 9, slipped a bit on the back 9. 2nd to 11 now for Russell Clayton. It's a beautiful tempo to the swing. Just creeps behind that bunker, and might have expected there to be a bit more of a flyer. Kelly did a nice haircut, a bit longer than last week in Portugal. Not a bad shot from Forsyth. Hasn't been a hole-in-one here all week. We've had a cameraman out there, Ian McDonald, all week long in the hope, because our producer Jim Story would just love to get a hold of him. He never had one, you know. It will happen one day.
Jamie! In the bunker.
It's the shot really that creeps in. I might say our producer Jim Spence. I meant Jim Story if I didn't say it right. But he's never ever had a hole-in-one. To be honest, it's becoming a bit of an obsession. Be the right club, he was saying, and it just about was. It's still smarting. At the 11th for Russell Clayton. He remains at 10 under. Par at 14 for Alistair Forsyth, 1 shot behind. It looks like problems for Jose Caceres on the 11th. Has he driven into the bunker? I rather suspect he has. If he's in the middle of the bunker, not too bad, but he's anywhere up near the face. And decision time, and that's a little deceptive. I think his stance may be all right because the bunker is a bulge in the bunker, gives him room, goes back in. The lie's not that bad, and well, he's in the bunker on the right-hand side and almost in the bunker on the left-hand side. You can see quite a long way back as well. Jamie Spence. This 11th hole, 426 yards.
It's 2 yards short of the green. 70.
See 1 or 2 of the press behind John Hopkins from the London Times. Norman Duval shot Vicker out on the fairways, inside the ropes. We're talking about Spencer Janet, we're talking about the bunker guarding the the green.
Go.
Crowd like it. Has it got across the bunker? No, it was right at the pin.
Yeah, probably.
Now this is actually not a bunker, it's a waste area, so you could ground the club behind, and the lie is fairly good. There's a chance to get on into. Look to catch that fraction heavy. Oh no. Too my eyes to see, but they might. That's a marvellous shot from Jose Caceres. Might be a championship winning shot. Well, he hasn't panicked yet. 10 straight pars. Talking about Ross McFarland, a round of 68. He was playing with Justin Leonard, and he beat him by 5 strokes. If only he'd been at Brookline with us. He was there watching. Maybe he should have been playing. Justin Leonard, I think, will have enjoyed his first trip to Dubai. He's being well treated, and hopefully we'll see him a time or two more on the European Tour. 73, he finishes at 2 under. Got his mouth open in amazement. Ross McFarland beat me by 5. Struggled on the last 4 holes, dropping 3 in it, and again we've been saying it all day, that's evidence of how tough this finish is. And a 2-shot lead still on the 15th tee isn't very much at all, but will it be a 2-shot lead? Advantage the 11th to Caceres. He's got a putt for birdie. Par at 15 for Stephen Gallagher, and we saw drive into the deep rough. It's a good recovery. Won't be much in it as to who's to putt now. It might just be Jose. Still looking to open his birdie account. And if he can post a couple before we come to the last 4 holes, so much the better for his chances. Turn. 11 pars in a row. Now the pressure is just starting to tell. And every shot needs a bit more concentration, a little more time. He can feel that he's got it in his grasp, but he knows that Spence is closing. He won't want Jamie Spence to miss this putt, of course, but having said it, he'd only be human to think what it would help if he did. Thought it would turn. He looked at Jose, so not many birdie run ends, and back to 12 under. The lead is 3 again. We've had a wonderful week in Dubai. They provide us with excellent commentary boxes, air conditioning. Of course, the air conditioning makes your throat dry, so you take on lots of water and you get in my gist. This is 3 hours on my own, and they do say if a picture paints 1,000 words, there's about 10,000's worth coming up in a moment. We'll take a quick commentator's break, but first of all, we'll watch Westwood's shot.
Great.
Just coming up a little short and right. I'll be back in a minute. Pretty good from Lee Westwood. And again, not as close as he would have liked. And you're working, I'm sure, hard on that department in the build-up to the Masters. Jamie Spence in the, I think Sarris has gone for the same way I went a minute ago. Well, we're all human. Talking of the Masters, defending champion of the green jacket will be Jose Maria Olazabal. Finished with a 72 today. Was out in 35, back in 37. Harris by 3. Westwood not really making the sort of charge that he would want to, but he can afford to wait if he has to. Picks up a birdie at 13, say. Not so far away, and you never know, Caceres could make a mistake. He hasn't really made a mistake so far. It's been a very composed performance from the Argentinian. This is Stephen Gallagher for par at 16. had to make that one and did. Still 11 under. And confirmation of the round of Jose Maria Olazabal. So it was 2 under through 10, and again a victim of the finish, dropping shots at 15 and 16 for his 72. But he didn't miss a fairway yesterday, and that doesn't mean that he hit the driver on every tee, far from it. But that's the department of this game that needs to improve and needs to gain in self-belief and confidence. And if Olazabal's doing that, maybe he's just moving towards his best form in time for his defence. They're the Tango men again out in their powerboat. They can go faster than that. The smart IBR stable. At the moment, Jose Caceres is cruising towards the Dubai Desert Classic with a 3-shot lead. Among those who could come into the picture with a fast finish, Paul McGinley just made a birdie at 13. Got himself to 10 under, and that putt to go to 11. Paul Lawrie's made birdies here at 14 and previously at 13. He too is at 10 under, so the pack is closing in. But so far Caceres hasn't faltered. But the 12th hardest hole yesterday, and over the course of the week the second hardest, with the 18th being the toughest. 484 yards, and that would normally be a par 5, but the touring pros playing it as a long par 4, wind not helping that much, if at all, and across from the right.
Stand still, please.
Rounds of 69 for Jose Rivera, finishes at 7 under. 70 for Greg Owen, finishes at -6. But again, taking no chances. The safe shot running in. And he might not be making birdies, but he's also not looking like dropping shots.
Oh yes, definitely.
Now Spence.
Yeah. I'm sure he just left it.
Might have been a club short in the first place. And so it looks like one of the Emirates fleet, which is going to be updated. The Dubai airport, their home airport, but of course it's a hub of the Middle East, and all the major carriers from Europe all have regular services here as well. Very easy to get yourself down to Dubai, wherever you're coming from. If you bring your golf clubs, the trip could be worthwhile. Actually, bring the gold plastic as well for the shopping, you know. Paul McGinley at the 14th. over these last few holes, somebody's got to hang on and hold an awful lot of putts, and every time one of those goes by, the chances recede. See 3 under for today's round. At the moment, tied 4th. And among those, he's tied with Russell Clayton. On the 13th and Island green, and just laying up. It's really got a long one away, and on the fairway, the chance to go for the green in 2. But it's a high risk shot, water all around. I'm sure had he had the chance, Lee Westwood would have gone for it, but he too has got the rough to contend with. Ball above the feet. On the curtain raising Jebel Ali Challenge with Jose Maria Olazabal at the Jebel Ali Hotel and Golf Resort. On Tuesday they play, Pro-Am here on Wednesday. John Hopkins riding Reams. Excellent recovery from Jamie Spence. Chance to save his par. That's to Forsyth for a birdie at 16. No time to be leaving them short. Will this one turn? Will it turn? Not quite quickly enough. So the par count up to 12. And so far, so good for Jose Caceres. Still leads by 3. It might be 4 if Jamie Spence doesn't save his par. News from 16 and Ali Forsyth tapped in for his par to remain at 9 under. Just hearing an update on that, and apologies that we're hearing that he missed the putt, dropped the shot, goes back to 8 under. Leads 4. Let's check Spence making 2 bogeys in a row following 2 birdies. Just when he launched a challenge, it's falling away fast. No bite. Chance to get the putter going. Maybe Westwood will be the man that takes up the challenge if we can post a birdie at 13. Jamie Spence slipping back. Stephen Gallagher in line maybe for the biggest check of his career. A whole host of Scots on the leaderboard. So Russell Clayton looking to really kick-start his season. He's had an indifferent start. Van Phillips has been working hard as ever at his game. He's made 5 straight pars from the turn, having got out in 32. No drop shots on his car. Birdies at 7 and 8. Ross McFarlane with a round of 68, 8 under par for the weekend. John Bickerton, 1 hole to go. It's the 18th, the hardest hole on the course. No repeat of yesterday's fireworks from Jarmo Sanderlin. And he won't qualify through the World Top 50 now for the US Masters at Augusta. But you never know, maybe an invitation might be winging his way. I think it was a little hard on Jarmo to miss out, having won twice last year and played in the Ryder Cup. Go on, turn in. 1 or 2 Swedes following Patrick Sheldon. He's got himself now birdie at 13, birdie at 14, and there are 3 players, including Sheldon, in second place at 11 under. Just to underline the point about A team, saying John Bickerton with 1 hole to go. Just come in a 6, a double for John at the last, and a 71. Lee Westwood knows that leads can be chewed away. And once let Colin Montgomery going into the final round of an Irish Open by 3. 2 shots went to the very first hole, and Monty in the end won by 7. So it can go both ways. You've got to make the putt, so just like, I mean, just a fraction of a fraction out, it seems. I'm sure if he doesn't go on to win this tournament, Lee will be telling the world's media, well, I just didn't make the putts. Certainly tee to green, he's been more than tidy. Yeah, 13's a glaring opportunity for birdie as well. Just a moment or 2 ago, this was Russell Clayton on the same hole, playing with Westwood, of course. Come on, turn. You really can't get any closer, and he started an exercise program. Sometimes you see those grab the side of the hole, but not on this occasion. So now they go to 14, where the 200,000 at Durham, which is around about, I think, 6 to the pound, around about sort of £40,000 is an offer for a hole-in-one. It's Jose Caceres who won $50,000 in 1992 with a hole-in-one at the Emirates, and he The guy had sponsored him back in Argentina to the tune of about $45,000 to get onto the tour. It was his first season. He repaid the loan and, as he said, started counting.
Go on, sit down. Get down.
That's probably as close as we've been to holding one for a while. Catch that, and probably you didn't either, but it would have been a droll, dry comment from Russell. A lovely layback sense of humour. See, no shortage of bunkers. Mostly pin high or behind the green. Nay holes in one, 54 birdies, 11th hardest hole on the course, playing just below its par of 3 on average. And a lovely Miss Showers just brought in an ice cream. It was her birthday yesterday. She's suffering today. Two beautiful shots. They haven't given up yet. Quite right too. But he's taken no risks. He's made no mistakes. You wouldn't expect Jose Caceres to be going for this one in 2, laying up at 13.
See that big one?
Yeah, it's a nice one. Take more or less straight across. Move slightly up it.
445 yards. They moved the tee up yesterday to encourage the players to go for it in 2. I have a feeling that that's not been the case looking at the scoring today. Maybe they're back off the back tee. If Ross McFarlane gets a chance to pop in for the last 40 minutes, hour or so, he could confirm that for us. The team, Jamie Spence, pretty long off the tee. Not going for this.
Hit it, wind.
Now I wonder if he's overcooked the layup. There's when he might have been going for it. He's into the water. He was going for that. Such a long drive. So I suspect the tee is up, but miscalculation. Here we go again. Must have been a huge drive. I suppose if he felt he had a chance of getting on, he had to go for it. Maybe just got ahead of himself. He's almost reaching for the ball at impact. Maybe cleared the left side too quickly. I'm not really a technician, but it didn't look quite right. You know, he's been an established member of the tour for 10 years. More than better than the journeyman pro, but always made a good living. But with all those second places, probably felt, well, I'm going to do everything I can to win. Yeah, second place is the best part of 100 grand, but it's not about the money. Well, not all of it. You know, you can drop, play 4, hold the putt for 5, but Caceres take advantage and pitch and putt for birdie. Probably not. Lee Westwood for 2 at 14. It's one of those afternoons where he's just not able to buy a putt. Stays at 11 under, and he's been joined by Paul McGinley, who's rolled in a birdie putt of 15. 2 and 3 for McGinley, stablemate of Lee Westwood's. And McGinley, of course, played very well here last year. He was tied third, 1 place behind Lee Westwood. This is Thomas Bjorn, the touring pro from Dubai Creek. This is his 100th appearance on the European Tour. Hasn't been that memorable, but he's going to go out in some style. Bjorn out in 38, but he likely to pick up 3 shots on the way home. Yeah. Doesn't normally miss 2 in a row. So Clayton joins that pack on 11 under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, all 4 shots behind.
As I say, with those, you get a problem.
Patrick Sherlin with a 2 on 14 before, so it's holding up should Caceres falter. And so far he's shown no signs of. Chap just in front of Russell Clayton, John Huggan, Scottish journalist who works for an American magazine mostly now. Playing with Thomas Bjorn, Stephen Gallagher. New tee for this season at 16. Back up there on the hill is a dangerous hole. Slightly kinder pin. I think McGinley's caddy was hoping that would bring it back. He's playing with Jarmo Sanderlin. Jarmo level par for the day's round, 6 under the tournament. I wonder if Spence actually got across. Third shot he did. He did. And probably glad they haven't shaved the bank. Well, he'd be a little disappointed with that one, having been so aggressive with the second. Just fractionally defensive. Now the pack on 11 under. Sherlin's second to 50. He may not be 11 under for too much longer. It all depends on this man. And again, so solid. 13 bars and counting. And 5 more will surely get the job done, but easier said than done. Especially as Jamie Spence has a putt for birdie. Been an up and down roller coaster of a round for the last few holes. 2 birdies and then 2 bogeys. Tied second behind Robert Carlson at Royal Knuckle late last season in the Belgium Open. So pretty happy the way he played last year. He was in the top 20 of the stroke average, and that ultimately is the one stat that matters to the players. He's back on the attack. Into second place on his own now at 12 under, 3 behind. It's fast really, isn't it? Caceres in control, but there's a mighty scrap going on behind, and Patrick Sherlin playing his part. That's 3 birdies in a row, and he too gets to 12 under. (71, 72, 66 so far for the Swede. Thomas Bjorn hopefully finishing with a birdie. No, it will be at level par 72. Maybe a week of what might have been. His coach, Leif Nystrom, is here commentating for Danish television over the weekend and spent the earlier part of the week on the range with Thomas. It's a 67 for Stephen Gallagher. Clubhouse lead, sharing 7th place. Wonderful run of 5 birdies in a row. Excellent performance. I think a chance for the biggest check of his career.
Just smooth one of them. Yeah. It's there. So it is helping a little. Get a shot in your head.
Almost a match play situation. Get you blowing first. Put the pressure on Caceres, and he knows that Jamie Spencer's a real chance for a birdie too.
Ahí al bunker de la izquierda, no la aflojes, soltale, mamá, vamos. 141 a la entrada.
¿El viento ayuda en precisión?
El viento ayuda un cachito. Sí, ayuda un cachito. Vamos, muy sólido.
Not much more than an 8 iron.
Right.
Up the 16th for Paul McGinley. Looking for 3 birdies in 4 holes. Big swing on this one from the right as well. Now has this one got the pace? Has he got the... Oh, he liked it. Irish eyes are smiling. There were a lot of them in the Irish village last night watching their team beat the Italians in the Six Nations Rugby, and Paul McGinley, who played so well at Portugal a couple of weeks ago and had a good start to the season, makes a 3-way tie for second. Well, Jose Caceres must feel like a fireman or a high wire walker. He's there perched on top, but there are plenty waiting to catch him if he falls. The rest playing for place money. Very handsome prize fund it is as well. 5-figure checks, and that's in sterling. Pretty well for everybody who will finish in the top 20. But the big prize, £141,000 for our winner. Roger Winchester, a round of 65 yesterday. Today a round of level par 72. Easy to get lost. And the slowest traffic lights in the world. so it's been a good week again for Alistair Forsyth, and he will be very close to that £70,000 mark or so, which will be target number one. Keep the card. That was for a birdie, so a 4 around a 70. And Sheriff ninth place at the moment. He's playing with Darren Clark. And sometimes the jet lag, the fatigue of the heroics of last week tending to catch up. He'd improved every day his score. Today, though, maybe a little weary. Didn't get off to the sort of start he wanted. Dropped shots at 3 and 5. Even so, it will be hopefully around of 74, no more. And you just hear from the reception of the crowd, that's the roar that you normally get if you had a 64. That's how the golf fans around here appreciate his feat of winning the Anderson Consulting World Match Play last week, beating Tiger Woods at La Costa. Now perhaps a couple of days of well-deserved rest. In a very safe par for Jose Caceres. And 3-shot lead intact, but perhaps shouldn't be. Well, I've been talking all day about the finishing stretch at the creek, last 4 holes, and into those last 4, Jose Caceres takes a 3-shot lead, and 4 more pars would surely do it. Patrick Sholin just missed the green with his tee shot. This is for par. Keep his momentum going. He's coming off 3 birdies in a row. Got to get away with the 3 here, and maybe add another birdie over the last 2 holes to post a target at 13. Nicely done. Last, he really wasn't making putts. He shot so many low scores the year before when he made the breakthrough, winning the Italian Open at Castelconturbo. And last year didn't really happen. Maybe the pressure of pushing for a Ryder Cup place, who knows. But if he's holding those, he's going to be a factor again many times this year. It's the putting that it comes down to, as Lee Westwood well knows, and that was cling filmed over the hole. Just don't know how that didn't go in. He's 11 under, he's 4 behind. He could so easily be level. Paul McGinley out of the rough, trying to force this one onto 17. His fellow competitor Yarmo Sandlin has driven into the creek. So it seems as if the game plan for Jose Caceres has been churn out the pars, let the others make mistakes by forcing, and so far it's proved absolutely right, because 1 or 2 get close, and as soon as they get close, and make a mistake or two, fall back, and nobody has caught the Argentinian.
You missed the French check.
Jose Caceres has been remarkably straight off the tee. And that shot at the 10th where missed it quite a way on the right is the loosest we've seen. Out of bounds on the left-hand side, that one bunker that might catch you out as well. Big waste area on the right. Pin today. 11 on, cut quite close to the right-hand side, just 4 paces in. Well, Lee Westwood and Russell Clayton both back to 10 under, and really Lee needs a triple birdie finish, and probably knows even that won't be good enough. The chance surely has gone. Already played Russell Clayton, that is, walking off the tee, on line but short. And Lee Westwood's had a couple of twos at 16. He desperately needs a third. Nicely up the middle. And the rough has grown about half an inch a day.
Can you all stand still here, please? Don't have to move, you're
Just
right.
keep still. Thanks.
Can you just, darling, can you just move back a bit? Thanks.
Who, me? It's not that he's going to snap at you or anything like that. Just if she moved a little bit in his eye line and caught it, that might be enough to put him off. The rough growing at about half an inch a day, so a very steep angle of attack needed for Jamie. Unlucky that's happened before to him, and just that little collar of rough that sticks out guarding the left-hand approach. It was close to being a very good shot indeed.
Abriéndola un poquito, no se levante mucho. Mucha concentración ahora. 24 a los.
¿La entrada?
150 y creo.
Y 11 bandera, ¿eh?
11 bandas.
Sí, 53 la entrada.
Vamos, concentración, no afloje.
Made a birdie here yesterday. And again, hitting almost a Colin Montgomery game plan. Hit the fairway, hit the green. Hopefully make a putt if you have to. Beautiful bunker shot from McGinley. That will secure the par. Will keep him at 12 under.
Right.
I think he was here yesterday. Go on, buy a ticket. So birdies on 2 of the previous 3 rounds here at 16 for Lee Westwood. Curly won yesterday, but even if he makes this, it's just had to make the move earlier. The ball marker of Russell Clayton as well, also coming up just that tantalising 6 to 9 inches short. Paul Affleck made a 2 here at 16. That would be good news for his supporters. Got the Welshman back to 9 under and back into the top 10 and share ninth place on his own at the moment, just 1 behind those who share 5th. It doesn't look a particularly good shot, and it's not by the standards he would set himself, but it's not as easy as it looks. That rough is probably anything from 3 to 4 inches deep now. You can nestle down in there. You're not really too much hope of controlling it the way you want. It's a little bit, to a certain extent, hidden hope. Everybody else slipping and sliding. If he rolled this one in, he'd be very, very close. I think he'd settle for par number 15, mind you. It will be a popular local win. Caddy's no mug. Keeping a cool head. On his way, again gives it a chance, a little too far past, but as we've said many times before, he's looked very good on the 3-4 footers. He hasn't looked to show any nerves at all. Needs to find at least 1 birdie on the last 2 holes, and this is his best chance.
Look at that shot.
He thought the way he played 2 years ago that Patrick Sheridan would have been a cert for Brookline, the Ryder Cup side, and he fell away, but I'm sure he's going to play a few Ryder Cups before his time is through. Good save. Great save. David Seaman would have been proud of that save. hasn't put a foot wrong. Churning out the pars. Par golf, good enough. 3 holes to play. 3 holes the lead. Although from time to time we've seen contrasting fortunes on the 18th hole. If you've got a 2-shot lead, Jose Caceres probably won't throw it away on this final hole. This is the tee shot. Paul McGinley doesn't want it to slide too far to the right. Bunkers out there. 3 of them. And if he hasn't got a decent lie either in sand or grass, may have to lay up short of the water that guards the 18th green. Said at the start of this coverage of the 4th round, it was the kind of day, just enough breeze to take the 64, the 63 out of the equation. There's a chance for Patrick Sherlin if he were to make this and par the last, as opposed to 66. The first part of the equation. 4 birdies in 5 holes, and the Swedish supporters getting a little excited now. Their man into 2nd place, and he's only 2 shots behind. Now if he does no worse than par at 18, there is still pressure on Jose Caceres. And here he is on the 16th, which is not, I suspect, one of his favourite holes. Jamie Spence will go first. And Jamie's 4 under on the par 3s. He's played them pretty much as well as anybody.
It's hurting you.
And she says it's hurting you. Means it's into the wind. Caceres. Well, rounds 2 and 3, the last 2 rounds, he's bogeyed this hole. So I wonder what is going through Jose's mind now. If he's feeling positive, it's the fact that, well, I've dropped shots here the last 2 days. I'm due a par, maybe even a birdie. Any negative thoughts, and he might be in a little bit of trouble. So the caddy's got the cigarette on. We haven't seen that previously this week. Might be a pencil, I think it's a cigarette. So he's feeling a bit of tension, understandably. He's thinking positively. That is probably the shot of the day from Jose Caceres. If he pops that in, surely everybody else is playing for 2nd. 2 ahead of Patrick Sherlin, who's got the mighty 18th to come, but Caceres looking to get to 16 under. Paul McGinley on the 18th, but not the best of drives. Jamie Spence on the 16th, but a lot further away from the hole than Jose Caceres. Paul Lawrie has finished his round, a round of 68. Big improvement on last year when he missed the cut. And he won't be defending next week in Qatar, sadly, but going to play a little bit more in America. I'm sure he'll do very well. Van Phillips has also finished at 6 under, a round of level par, 72 for Phillips. And you saw the score of 68 for Paul Lawrie. This is how he clinched it. Did it the hard way. This was for par. Nice to finish the week, making a putt. 5 birdies, just the 1 bogey. And I rather suspected Paul McGinley not in any sort of shape to take on the 18th in 2, so laying up. This is his 3rd. Very good tie 3rd in Portugal, and he's starting to pile up the rostrum finishes. The Westwood 3rd at 17. You can't hold him with the putter. Can you chip him in? No. Days when Lee Westwood makes this game look so simple, and other days where he knows just what a hard game it is. Tee to green, pretty well flawless, but just not finishing the job off. Early season though, he played a couple of times down in South Africa, went across to America. So just finding his game at the moment. There will be much encouragement he can take out of the week as well. Was hoped so high when he started with that opening 64. Well, I think between them that they've missed so many putts by so little. They're both still at 10 under, sharing 5th place. Still hasn't made a birdie. Will never have a better chance. And he knows he will look at the leaderboards, I'm sure. He can make this to lead by 3 with 2 to play. If he doesn't make it, he still leaves a chance for Patrick Sholand, who's 2 behind and on the 18th. That will do. That will do. He's opened his account, he's deviated from the game plan, the finger is loaded again. He's 16 under and he leads by 3 with 2 to play. Gracias. Thank you very, very much indeed. Jamie Spence surely knows his chance has gone 4 behind, and Caceres really hasn't given him a chance to lead in the clubhouse at 12 under. This is Paul McGinley, a putt for par. .67 for Paul McGinley, perhaps for the 2nd year running a share of 3rd place, but he's not far from winning again. 2 wins under the belt. And a great week again for Paul McGinley. Out in 34, back in 33. Sure that he was playing with Yarmo Sandlin. Yarmo took a 7 at the 17th, drove into the creek, home in 40.75. Well, he's almost done it, Caceres. Sholand not in the best of positions off the tee at 18, and will he lay up? Might have no option. So the best he can manage, unless he holds the pitch, is a 4. Sarah's looking to find yet another fairway. Almost there, but mustn't get ahead of himself. And his swing has looked so well grooved all week, and the only problem he might have is if the rhythm got too fast and he got a little tense and just lost his tempo. He's kept that one away from the creek, and you can't blame him for that. It's sitting down in the rough a little, but shouldn't have too long a club in. And again, it will be, can't hit the fairway, hit the green, 2 putts. Left there, quite a tricky pin placing over the bunker on the left hand side, not so far away from the creek. Can you get this close? Perfect for length. You will need that for a 66. Playing with Paul Affleck. Haven't seen too much of Paul, but he's played nicely. He's 1 under. Coming to this 18th. The last 3 years he just held onto his card. If he could make a good start to this year, a big check here. This is for par. And this really to keep him in the top 10. Keep going, keep going. Well, that's a pity, but even so, under the pressure, and it would be a different sort of pressure to that being felt by the likes of Jose Caceres and Lee Westwood. A 72 for Paul Affleck. He hasn't choked. He's made a good, solid check. He's had a very good week. Well done. Of course, just looking back over on the leaderboard, thinking what might have been. Moment he shares 9th. He's going to earn himself about 16,000, so it's a handy week's work. Sholan has slightly higher targets. Makes this. Who knows? Caceres is in the rough on 17, could easily slip a shot there, and then it would be interesting coming to 18. But first of all, this has to go in. Oh. At the pace, so a 67, equaling the best rounds of the day previously set by Paul McGinley and Stephen Gallagher. Leader in the clubhouse with McGinley now. They're both on 12 under. And the grandstand's just about packed now for the leaders to complete their Dubai Desert Classic 2000. That line doesn't look so good. It's the ball belonging to Jose Caceres. You can see he can get in the back of it and wedge and get it up and wedge or 9 iron perhaps. Get it moving forward. Really at this stage anywhere on the green will do. And that's fine. Took the bunker out of place. I can't afford to take the bunker on. I'm just going to get it onto the heart of the green. In hand, Jamie Spence has to put this as close to the hole as he can. Second place, you're looking at £94,500, and much better to have it on your own than share it with anybody else. Russell Clayton missing the fairway at 18, and really the rough has grown so much over the course of the 4 days that there isn't much option. That was a little heavy-handed. Has to lay up, and you wouldn't choose to lay up into the semi just short of the water. There's been very little wrong teeter green with Lee Westwood's play this week, and in particular today. It's not going to be his week. It's probably, when he looks back, the putter that's just cost him the chance. Having said that, there really hasn't been a weakness in this man's game. Just 5 bogeys all week and none today. He's led from the wire, sharing the lead on day one, 64s, with Lee Westwood, new course record that stood a couple of days. And he may have the best seat in the house, just anchored close by the 17th. Putt maybe of a man who's determined to walk off this course saying, well, I gave it my best shot. Just caressing that one down the green. If that had gone in, that would have been Q Fat Lady. Nice little uphill putt. I suppose nothing's really come to at this stage, but yeah, if it only had gone in. Nervous gestures, hat off. Moment, not too worried about Jamie Spence. It's the 12 unders that have posted Jamie to give himself a chance of taking second on his own with a birdie at the last. First of all, must make this. Nobody at 11 under at the moment. Westwood, Clayton, Laurie and Gallagher all at 10 under. And it's still going. What a pity. What a shame. Last 9 holes have been up and down for Jamie Spence. 3 birdies, 3 pars, 3 bogeys.
Sir, no photos, please.
On hold to play, 4 shots to the lead. 2 shots from glory. Find a fairway, find a green. And what a lovely Sunday it would have been. This is Lee Westwood for a par on 18. Again gave his putt for birdie every chance, but it's slipped by again. That one was firmly hold. Really not very much at all wrong with Lee Westwood's game. A 71. Maybe Dad has to look at the putter. He's helped him in the past. That's for a bogey for Russell Clayton, so he slips back to 9 under. 8th place. Well, he's probably hit more fairways than anybody else. Come on, Jose, one more. It's just a swing that's looked in the groove. Away to the right this time. Oh no, has that gone into the water? I have a feeling it might. And isn't it strange, since Jean van der Velde at 18 at Carnoustie, no 18's ever seen the same again, and we had Yeweze on the 18th in the B&H Malaysian Open. 3-shot lead and taking 6. One thing is he can drop there. I mean, he can afford a 6. That's the one consolation for Jose.
Very good.
One interested spectator surely will be Ian Ruggeroni, the CEO of Dubao Aluminium, who are our sponsors. He was born in Argentina. So he will be hoping to hand that handsome trophy over to his fellow countrymen, but maybe a little drama on the final hole. Jose Caceres into the water. If he drops out 2, lay up 3 on 4, he's still okay. Like McGinley and Sholand destined to share 2nd place. That will be an improvement of 1 for Paul McGinley, and the best result for some time for Patrick Sholand. Jamie Spence would like to make it a 3-way tie. He will need a birdie at this final hole to do so. I haven't had it confirmed that it's in the water. He doesn't look too concerned at the moment.
Anti-coach, eh?
Well, when we return next year, there will be changes to the skyline. Dubai probably must be the fastest growing city in the world. But the Desert Classic established now as one of the sporting jewels in the crown, in what is indeed a sportsman's and sportswoman's paradise. As is traditional, the crowd with the final match being allowed up the fairway, safe distance behind the players. And there, I suspect, is the ball of Jose Caceres, which will mean no heroics, no way trying to play it. Find out where it crossed. There we are, mark the tee peg. Penalty drop, no nearer the hole, within 2 club lengths. 1, 2. Layup 3, on 4, probably hold the putt 5, doesn't matter. Would have 2 more putts from there. Good drop. That's a good drop. Laying very well. I suppose that poor old John van der Velde legacy, really. Every time somebody makes a ricket at 18, oh, that reminds me of Carnoustie. You have to live with that. Good to see him doing very well in Tucson, the Tucson Open last week in America, finishing tied second. Referee not really needed. I think Jose knew what was at stake. But he's mighty glad he hasn't got a 2-shot lead. 4 shots will do. Had it been 2, he'd be sweating now.
¿Te gusta más lo más cerca posible? No, está corto. Por eso te digo que tiro después, ¿te gusta medio tiro? Me gusta no con un tiro completo, dale con eso que está bien. Pues te digo, medio tiro esto nomás. Sí. Cuando quede más lejos.
One more exchange round. Viewers down in Spain. A lot more golf of the European Tour being shown in Spain this year.
Sure.
Canal Plus, I think. There we are, the perfect layup. That is chain smoking now.
Stay there. Stay there. Sit.
And Tom, outside chance now for the birdie that he needs for a share of second.
Take care of this cord. Take care. Stop the cord. Move through.
Well, there he is. He'd love to be on in 2. He's there in 3. I guess for the majority of golfers in the world, the amateurs, wouldn't be over yet, but surely you wouldn't make a mistake at this stage. The pin's cut quite close to the front of the green, but he can afford to go past it. Probably can afford to take 7 now, you see, and still win. I hate to be so negative. I'd like to see him pitch and putt and do it in some style. Probably guilty of being a realist. That will do. That will do. He might just do it in style. He's going to win. Just a question of how many.
How Todavía no está. Jugá.
The final pair approaches now, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Spence from England, winner of the Canon European Masters in the 92 season, several
No, lo que no se puede desconcentrar así.
including the BMW International in 98 and was third.
Might as well pick it up on the way through. I'll give it a little touch for good luck. Oh, takes the hat off. Yeah, I'll be seeing you in a moment, baby. But almost lost in the scrimmage of photographers and marshals getting across the bridge, but in a moment he will step into the spotlight. Surely the winner of the Dubai Desert Classic for 2000, Jose Caceres.
And has had several second place finishes in his World Cup and Alfred Dunhill Cup there for Argentina.
Sarah's going to enjoy the moment for a little longer. Wait while Jamie Spence completes his tournament. And now there's a bit of pressure on. If he makes it, of course, he shares second place. He's fourth on his own at the moment. If he misses it, he shares fourth place with Stephen Gallagher, Paul Laurie and Lee Westwood. And of course that quite significantly will reduce the size of Jamie's check. So it's not just about the money. These players, and Jamie in particular, gave it everything he could. He wasn't defensive. He went for just about everything in a bid to win this tournament. But now when that bid has not succeeded, well, the money does begin to matter a little. So many clicks of photographers going off. That's distracted him, and not easy with the collar of the fringe just behind, so he's almost not got to ground the putt and strike the ball halfway up. Come on, keep going, keep going. Well, I wonder if he will putt out to lead the final putt for the champion. Courtesies observed. Doesn't mean that Jamie Spence has to in any way rush this putt. Probably worth the best part of £10,000–15,000. A shame, and I think consoling smile from Jose Caceres. So Jamie Spence finishes with a round of level par 72, bogey, an expensive last two holes. Now there are members of the Caceres family watching here in Dubai. Fellow pros are watching, and of course over at Buenos Aires, the rest of the family and relatives and friends will be, I'm sure, grouped around a TV set. These pictures, in the case of South America, via the Golf Channel, going all around the world. Taking no chances, doesn't matter. A 6 will do. He'll win it by 2. It doesn't matter at all, because in Argentina they might be crying, but in Argentina they're crying tears for joy. Jose Caceres wins the 2000 Dubai Desert Classic. Winning is never easy. It's even harder to win wire to wire, but it's been a classy performance from Jose Caceres, his second win on the European Tour, his biggest payday, and you cannot deny he deserves it. He's been a class act. Now, what have we got here? Well, I don't know, but these pictures are going to Argentina. That might be a message for the family. Let's hope so. A lovely moment. That's all love and affection, and a popular winner with these supporters in Dubai. In the end, it was around a 73 with the 6 at the end. Didn't matter not, he'd done the hard work by then. I have to just go and check the car before the presentation. And there's a message. I think the photographers want a picture of the message on there. I can do it with the translation if anyone's listening. We'll be staying on for the presentation. Just in the meantime, I want to thank Paul Eales, Ewan Murray and Ross McFarland, who during the course of the 4 days have joined me in the commentary box. And congratulations to Ross McFarland, who's finished tied 11th with Jose Rivero. That will be his best finish in Czech for some time. So lots of people have made little milestones here at the Creek, but none more so, of course, Jose Caceres, and that might well be Mr. Ragaroni, the chief executive of Dubai Aluminium, who, as I say, is born in Argentina. Argentina top of the leaderboard. Paul McGinley again has had a cracking week at the Creek, tied 3rd last year, improving by 1 this year. Good weekend for Patrick Sherland as well, rounds of 66 and 67. Nobody played better over Saturday and Sunday. Jamie Spence just faltering at the last. That was a shame to see. He deserved with his performance at least 4th on his own. Lee Westwood gave it his best shot, couldn't make the putts on the last day. And over the 72 holes, probably the same story for Paul Lawrie, though he was a little better today. Biggest check of Stephen Gallagher's career, also with a share of 4th place. Russell Clayton, 64 yesterday, the highlight of his day. Another assured performance from Alistair Forsyth. Decent sized check for Paul Affleck, which will boost his confidence, and if he can just continue that for a few weeks more, he won't have to go into the end of the season worrying about keeping his card. Say Ross McFarland finding some form over the weekend, a couple of 68s, not bad at all. Thomas Bjorn's 100th appearance on the European Tour, good start, but not the weekend that he would have hoped for. And Darren Clark improving day by day until today, where he slipped back a little, but still he's done the European Tour proud. They're still buzzing about his win at La Costa in the Anderson Consulting, beating David Duval in the semi. Tiger was in the final, and coming over here when it would have been very easy to sound very tired and pull out, but he hasn't. He's fulfilled his obligations. Credit to the game. And of course, I think that win at La Costa will be a springboard for great things to come. Miguel Martin, good performance as well to finish at 5 under. Tony Johnston taking some of the form that he rediscovered at Penina and the Portuguese, bringing that across to Dubai as well. John Bickerton and Peter Mitchell, great mates, roommates, sharing 20th with TJ. Jose Maria Olazabal, there were parts of his game that looked to be on the mend. It's a little straighter off the tee from time to time. Maybe running into form at just the right time with the Masters on the horizon. Yarmo Sandlin will take away the new course record at 63 set yesterday. Good finish today for Ian Garbett. And a solid performance from the newly crowned Portuguese Open champion, Gary Orr. 74 players made it through. The cut came at +3. 70 players and ties going through, as opposed to 65 in previous seasons. Wouldn't actually made any difference. The cut would still have been at +3. Lots of talk about where this tournament will be played next year. Will it be back at the Emirates? Will it be here at the Creek? The talk that in 2003 might be at Emirate Hills on the Colin Montgomery course. The one thing you can assure is whichever course is the venue, it will be in pristine condition, and this will be one of the top tournaments of the year. I'm sure Jose Caceres and the Argentinian contingent, having come over here, they normally stay for 4 or 5 weeks at a time. They'll be making a trip up to Qatar next week, so no need to rush off in time perhaps for a celebration in that handsome clubhouse. That's potentially, I would think, the fastest craft we've seen on the creek this week. We're getting clearance for takeoff. The 8th event on this year's European Tour schedule, won by Jose Caceres. Preparations being made on the 18th green for the presentation. In a moment we will be grabbing a word with Jose Caceres, just ahead of the main presentation. There's the trophy. Ernie Els' his name on there. Fred Couples as well. Colin Montgomery, Jose Maria Olazabal. So Caceres is joining a distinguished list of past winners. So almost time then for the presentation of cheque and trophy to our worthy winner, Jose Caceres, winning by 2, and by the side of the 18th to conduct the presentation, our colleague from Sky Sports, David Livingston.
And here behind the 18th with the champion is Mr. Ian Ruggiero, the Chief Executive Officer of Duval, the major sponsor of this event, who incidentally was born in Argentina, so there's quite a bond here, and we should have no problems with languages. But first of all, Jose, we will speak in English, but the questions will be simple. Can you say just how good this makes you feel?
The first time, thank you very much. I'm very happy for stay here in Dubai. Very happy for the win in this tournament. Is important for me, for Argentina, for my family, for my friend, for the public. Today, thank you very much.
They had some of the best players in the world here. You led from the start to the finish. Does that make it even better?
Me ha dicho que
tenías en los mejores jugadores del mundo y desde el primer día fuiste el líder. Y te sentís mejor por eso.
I play the first day, play very good. Second day I play very good, one more chance. And the third day play more better. Today I play very good. Maybe you play very good in the week. Big chance for the win. Maybe stay good too many players in the week. Pero maybe every player stay here. Good feelings, big chance for the winner.
Okay, one last thing. Would you like to say something in Spanish to your friends and family watching in Argentina?
¿Querés decir algo a tus familias en Buenos Aires?
My family,
en español.
Mis amigos y bueno, le dedico un abrazo muy grande a toda mi familia, a mis hijos, a mis hijas, todo lo que me conocen y a todos los amigos. La verdad que estoy muy contento porque he ganado este torneo y se lo dedico a todo ello y al público del Abierto de la República, que del año pasado no lo pude ganar, pero estoy muy contento porque esto se lo dedico a ellos, se lo debía, porque el año me quedó con la sangre en el ojo y por eso le dedico este trofeo a todo ello. Y bueno, esperamos que tenga un feliz año para todos y hasta la próxima vez.
I couldn't agree more. No, I didn't want you to hold that trophy, big heavy trophy throughout that. So, Mr. Ruggiero, give the champion the trophy, please.
José,
Ok.
Poné la mano y después lo pones de vuelta, porque...
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Menos mal que tengo.
year 2000 Dubai Desert Classic champion, Jose Caceres.
Menos mal que hice gimnasia este año, pues si no, no hubiera aguantado esto. Dale.
And if he keeps playing like that, he need to keep working on the English. He might be making a speech or two. Very genuine person and a very popular winner on the European Tour. Jose Caceres for the second time, the winner of the year 2000 Dubai Desert Classic. My thanks to Paul Eales, Ewan Murray and Ross McFarlane. I'm Steve Beddow, and guess who had Jose Caceres in the sweep? Goodbye.